Well, hello everyone, and welcome to my shop. Well, all right, welcome. Well, how about this weather? Here we are at the middle of April, and we get some days of 60 and 70s, then we get some days of 30s and 40s. Today, it's 40s. So anyway, I may have to dig out my heater that I've already put up thinking, spring is here with nice weather. But anyway, we're back on the 49 GMC again today, and the paint should be good and dry. Let's check out the paint job, and then let's see if we can get them seats reinstalled. So stay tuned. Okay, even the most simple of procedures for this truck is taking time. In order for my battery hold down to work, I need to notch it out here where it doesn't touch the battery positive. Now, the 6-volt battery probably would not have had that problem, but I had to notch it on the Chevy also when I went to 12 volt. So anyway. All right. And I'll show you. Okay, you can see here's where I notched it. See, and he'll come down, and you see how I may take a little bit more off that corner there because of that flat piece. But anyway, see, that goes there, and he'll go down and hook. I need to make a slot down there for him also, because there's no way for him to hook, and that was the original post was busted off. So I mean, just something as simple and mundane as a battery clamp you can see involves extra work. All right, there we go. All right, what I want to do is now I want to make some sort of an insulator here, because that battery positive terminal will come down, and I don't want him in no way touching that. So we're going to make us an insulator out of an old piece of hose here. And he'll fit over the edge there. All right. All right. Take him down. You see that? All right. Well, that'll do. All right. The battery plate's good down there, good and strong. All right. I want this pad down there. All right. Okay, good deal. Just an additional insulator. Okay, let's get the battery down in there. All right. That probably didn't go record good. Okay. All right. Now, the battery tie down clamp, we'll insert him all the way through. Get him down there. Okay. Now let's find the hole down there. Okay, I couldn't find a toggle nut to fit that because it's a fine thread, and every toggle nut that I've got is a coarse thread. So I want him to get the tight, and I got that. And he's not going anywhere. Alright. So we'll get our half in, our positive tied down. I wonder if I ought to just go ahead and leave this disconnected for now. I think I will. Let's make sure I got my positive down. Okay, good deal. And my negative will fit right. Yes, he will. Okay. That's what I wanted. All right, we're going to disconnect the ground for now, though. We don't want, since we're doing all this work in here, we don't need any power. Got the steering wheel disconnected. Okay. Okay. There we go. We'll just leave that disconnected for now. At least the battery's in and good. And I can drop this dude off the jack stands and put him back down on the ground. Alright. Good deal. Alright, I got the tape removed, and it's not looking too bad. I see a little bit of running here and there, but not enough to where I'm just going to do any sanding and repainting. It's what you call good enough. Now that's top that I put on the door panel over there, that color, and I'm hoping that matches up to the seats a little pretty good. Just kind of doing a glance, it's going to be maybe a little lighter. We'll just see. If it ends up being too light, we'll just repaint it. Now, I didn't do the roof because there I will probably go with a headliner. And I didn't do the bottom part here above the gas tank because, well, like I said earlier in the other video, I ran out of paint. And so I wanted to make sure I got everything coated that I wanted, and I didn't have enough to do the bottom part. And the seat's going to hide the majority of that anyway. You don't even see the gas tank either. So we'll just see how it looks. We can do some touch up after the fact. Now, what we got to do before, well, I still got real easy access in here without the seats. I need to pull this plate out right here that I made up in that radio delete because I have got a new circuit I'm putting in there. So stay tuned and I'll tell you about it and show you. Alright, you may or may not have noticed I got a new mount in here. It's because I got a new circuit I'm putting in. And let's get him fished down. Alright. Now I'm replacing that GPS unit with this, they call it a heads-up display. And basically what it is, it's a speedometer. Alright. Now hopefully I'll be able to get this threaded on there. Okay. And I believe I got him upside down. There we go. He's supposed to go this way. All right, there we go. All right. And what I'm going to do is just pull all this extra wire in there or up underneath the dash. can't really do much about that wire hanging out there, so. So anyway, all right, that's going to be my speedometer right there. And when I hook the battery up, I'll show you how it goes. All right, time to put the plywood in. All right. Get the brackets. Alright, I rounded the edges where it sticks out so it doesn't poke a man if he gets underneath here, or a woman for that matter. Alright. What we're going to do is get these holes lined up. Alright, now let's start doing some bolting. Got a whole cadre of these bolts. Alright, so yeah, we'll start with him. Alright. Well, my first one's not going good at all. Let's see. Lock washer. Make sure we got the right size. Yeah. An angle, that's probably what it is. They don't. There we go. If they don't start straight. Okay. All right, before I put the seat in, I want to show I've cut out a patch right here. And I'm not an upholstery man, but I made it a 1/2 inch bigger than the hole on all sides so I can either try to figure out how to do it or get someone that knows how to do it. And I'll show you where I stole it from. Yikes! Yeah, just back up here. Uh-oh. Stole it from there. Now, let me explain to you why I went there. All right? Now, as you can see, you won't be able to see that. Oh, got a phone call. Hold on. All right, I'll kind of show you why I picked there. As you can see, you do not see the problem. All right, now these seats, you know, they're going in a single cab, standard cab pickup, so there's nothing going to be behind it to see that spot. So I decided, instead of stealing from the headrest, which was an excellent idea, decided to go back from the back side there. So now I'm going to install these seats. Well, with my Kubota back home, which is good to have, it's in the way. All right. Tighten him up. Okay. Now let's get these holes lined up. Now we gotta line these holes up, and we'll get him bolted in, and then we'll do the driver's side. Well, all right, the seats are bolted in. And that's one of those plastic things. Looks like it'll pop in there, but see, we got our 2 bolts in the front. Bolt here holding the plywood down. This is holding the back rear seat mount plus the plywood to the angle bracket. Then we got 2 bolts there. We'll just, I don't know, I think that might look pretty good. I don't know, might not stay though. There we go. Yeah, okay. And go around the other side. And there's the rear. And you can someone had recommendation of, and I need to look back and give you a shout out. But I said moving the seats up and you can get to the rear brackets. Well, by golly, you could. I didn't. In mocking it up, I didn't move the seats up far enough. But you can see we're bolted in good. They're all 4 brackets. Let me move him back, and you can see along there. So he's good. He's in good and tight. Move him back. All right, now I'm gonna close this door and see if that top blends in. Well, what do you think? It's close. I think it's close enough. Now I need to do something about all them holes they made in it. I doubt I'll put them oversized bolts in. I may put some plugs in and then touch up the paint. But that top, it's close. That gives it a neat little look. You can see the black some back there. I may do something about that. I don't know. Go buy some more paint maybe. But anyway, that's really not bothering me that much. Got the tape pulled off. Some of the stuff mounted. There's my new speedometer right there. I'll fire him up soon and we'll take a look at it. I want to do some more work, and I'll probably put the windshields in before I put the steering wheel back in. Anyway. Now, when I was cleaning out these, taking the windshield out and fixing and getting them out and getting the seal out, here's the rust damage right here. You see that? Now I've got a couple ideas floating around in my brain, and I'm not going to tackle this just yet, but I'll accept any suggestions. I'll tell you, now I've got a MIG, and I can make a patch and weld it in, cut it out a little bit. But I'm also thinking a lot of the, almost all the bad rust is out. I can treat this, and I'm thinking about making up a patch to come up from underneath, maybe tacking it in a couple spots to hold it, and taking JB weld to just reform this. All right. So anyway, any suggestions from you body guys? I'm all ears. But we got seats. Just another phase done. All right. All right, here's a inside shot. Of course, minus the steering wheel. Anyway, certainly a big improvement. All right, now we're kind of starting to mess with the door some. And as you can see, the holes line up here on the lower hinge, and they line up on the upper hinge. So far, I'm still thinking I may have looked into one heck of a good deal, but we'll know more when I go to put this door back on. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to chip off this old door seal here and get it cleaned up and get it ready, and I'm gonna put the new seal on it while it's easy to get at. So anyway, and you know, it just peeled off by hand on the Chevy, So that leads me to believe this seal may have been added later. Whoever did, like I say, at one point somebody did a lot of work to this GMC. And I think they either got it completed or they got it real close to completed and then they sold it. And then I don't know how many owners it went through that just kind of rode it wet, rode it hard, and put it up wet. And then when a part failed, they just took it off and they never replaced it. So they used it and abused it. I know a lot of you all are making these recommendations about, since I've got it down here, just to do a lot of this major work. Well, that's not the goal at this particular time. The goal is to make it presentable as well as roadable. Now, I had it somewhat roadable before, except for I didn't like the shock and the spring set up in the front. So in previous episodes, you've seen where I corrected that. And I decided to go ahead and do something with the interior while I had it sitting in here, which has been a longer drawn out process than I originally planned. So the interior is almost done now. It's looking pretty good. I just need to put those windshields in, and the glass in this driver's door here is bad, and I may try to tackle that soon too. You can see I'm putting new hinges in it, but at this time, this is not in no way a type of frame off restore. In other words, I'm not going that deep with it. Perhaps if I keep it, I could see that happening. But to tell you the truth, I want to get it roadable for either selling or enjoying. And this dude here is the one that's going to get the frame off. Well, I don't know if I'll take it that far, but it's going to get some body work done, and it's going to get repainted. And I want it to look like it did when it rolled off the factory assembly line or the showroom floor. I want it to look good, as well as staying period correct. This right now, I just want to get it roadable, and I don't want to sink a whole lot of too much money into it because I need that long green for this puppy right here. So anyway, that's where we're at. So I'm gonna get on this door. That strip may come off too. If it will, I'll replace that. See, that's Phillips right there on the mirror. See if we can't get that out of the way. They're like Phillips set screws. Okay, that's cool. All right. I don't want to lose that, so let's get him started back. Kind of like a Phillips set screw. Let's get back up. Here we go. Anyway, pretty slick. Kind of like what goes in your door handles. All right. Trying to keep disassembly to a minimum. The more I pull apart, the more problems I find, I want to, ignorance is bliss, they say. So anyway. But this door is not in bad shape. I think this, although you can see it's dry rotted, and didn't age well, I really doubt it's original. I mean, it's possible, but I know the glue, it just came off real easy on my Chevy. I mean, I pulled it off by hand. So, you know, unless GMC did a better job of sealing their doors than Chevrolet did, and which is, you know, entirely possible. Okay. Now what I've got is I've got this 3M double stick tape that's applied to one side of a door seal I got off of eBay. I put the same thing in the Chevrolet over, and it's been well over a year now, and with the surface prepared real good, it's held. It's really, I'm surprised. You know, it's holding so good. I don't foresee going with the type you gotta glue. I did it kind of as an experiment, you know. It's like, you know, $9 a door, so that's not bad. And anyway, I figured $9 a door was worth a shot. I'm gonna see if that bottom strip will come off. And I don't know if you can see, but there's Phillips, and they just may do. I don't know. The bottom of the door is actually not bad. Okay. No. No. I'm probably going to need drilled out. I got one more trick I can try. Yeah. That's just rounding them off. They're going to have to get drilled out. You can see that strip there, though. Okay. All right. All right. I like to start in the middle. Okay. Once you get it set, you want to make sure you got it where you want it, because once it's set, it sticks, it's stuck. Now, I've made a tactical decision. I am not going to replace that bottom piece at this time. I know this is the time I should do it, but I'm not going to do it. You got to draw a line somewhere with the kind of work you're doing. And again, these doors are in real good shape. I need to drill that out and replace that bottom strap. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to leave it as is. All right. Well, all right, we've hit a good stopping point, so I believe I'm going to stick a fork in it for the day. Let's see, we've got the interior sanded and painted. We've got the gauges. We've got the turn signal and the tach put back in. We've got the new speedometer, the GPS heads-up display speedometer installed in the radio delete. We got the seats permanently mounted, and we got the battery permanently installed in its position too. So I believe we're doing good. Now, I did the battery before I did the painting, and so you may notice that, pick up on that before in the deal, but it just didn't fit in the previous episode, so it kind of fits in here. So anyway, because I'm trying to get this interior done. Like I said, good stopping point. Got the door, got the seal with the door off. Boy, putting that, getting the old seal off, cleaning the surface, and then getting the new seal on was really easy. It's making me think about pulling that passenger side off, but I don't know. You know, at this point, every time I pull something off, I find something worse. So right now, I want to get it on the road and get it running. This project has never been meant to be a frame off. And I only want to put so much into it at this particular time. Putting the new engine and everything in it, I just wanted it running because it wasn't running when I first got it. And the interior was in pretty bad shape, and the windshield. So what I'm doing is what I have to do to get it roadable again. I can, a lot of you all, I've got some comments, and I appreciate them, indicating, you know, do a lot of other stuff while I had it at this point. Well, this isn't the last time it's going to be worked on. I haven't even decided if I want to keep the thing yet. I pretty much think I will, but I want to get, right now, the whole thrust is to get this thing on the road, get it running good, which I think the suspension and the drivetrain and these other improvements I've done to it is going to do nothing but improve it even more. And once I get it roadable, we'll take the Chevy and put it over here and get some work done on it. And so that's where we're at. So, I want to thank you for watching. Stay safe. We're almost, there's light at the end of the tunnel, I believe. And, you know, we may be back to getting our lives back in order real soon. So stay safe, take it easy, and I'll see you around on the next one. See you.